It's been a while, but welcome back. It's another YouTube news flash. And the news that's always on people's lips, particularly when it comes to YouTube, is monetization. And today, well, earlier this week, I'm a little bit slow on this news story, but this is one that a few people have been talking about, and I want to go over it with you, those who might not have seen any other videos covering this already. But this is an update where they've updated some things with regards to the YouTube Partner Program and monetization. Don't worry, off the top of the video today, let me tell you, none of the eligibility requirements have changed. Well, mostly hasn't changed. We'll cover that in just a second. But first, let's have a look at the first article we've got for you today. And it's the updated YouTube Partner Program application in Studio. So basically what they've done is taken that little monetization window that told you how much watch time hours you had, how many subscribers you had, and ticked off all the things that you've already prepared, like your AdSense account and everything. They've taken all that out of the Classic Studio because Classic Studio is going away. If you haven't already listened to Tom on Creator Insider, you'll know that Classic Studio is going away. Everything needs to be over on the new Studio, what is formerly known as Studio Beta. They're dropping the beta. It's no longer beta, but they're putting it in. And if you go over to, and I'm going to drop a little shot in here because I don't have it queued up right now. I'm going to drop in, show you exactly where. If you go to the left-hand side of the dashboard, you go down through the list there, and you'll see the entry for monetization. Click on that. If you are still working your way towards monetization and getting to the YouTube Partner Program, all that is going to be in there for you on New Creator Studio. So in the monetization tab, and you'll see it'll look something like this. And there you go. We'll have a closer look at that in just a second. All right, let's hit the article, and we're going to go through it. This is from Sarah, a YouTube employee who is updating us on this information. This is going to segue into a little bit more information on the YouTube Partner Program, so we're going to cover that in just a second. Here we go. Starting today, you'll see a new redesigned application page for the YouTube Partner Program. We've simplified the process to make it clear when you're eligible and fixed a bug to only show public watch hours. So this is the big one. This is probably the biggest thing that you're going to need to know about the eligibility requirements for the YouTube Partner Program. Now, you know it's 4,000 watch time hours. What they didn't tell you is that it's 4,000 public watch time hours, which basically means watch time hours from videos that are public, videos that people can see on your channel. Now, one thing you might think, well, okay, so it's not counting private. What about unlisted? Well, apparently it doesn't count unlisted either. So it needs to be public watch hours counted. And what they're saying is the old layout in Studio Classic was actually showing you all watch time hours, not just public watch time hours. We might get into that a little bit more in just a second. Let's hit back to the article. The eligibility requirements and review process for the YPP are not changing. You still need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours to apply, and once you apply, you should hear back within around 30 days. For more info on this review process, check out this post. We're going to go look at that post after we finish covering this particular article. So let's scroll down. It says the updates to the YouTube Partner Program application page. The first thing that they've done is provided more accurate public watch time data. The redesigned application page shows your progress towards YPP thresholds, including your channel's public watch hours and subscriber count. With this update, it may look like your watch hours have actually decreased, as we showed total watch hours, public, private, unlisted, on the old page in Studio Classic due to a technical issue. Interesting. That technical issue was there for a good year and a half. Since we only consider public watched hours towards YPP eligibility, we've fixed this issue and updated the YouTube Studio sign-up page to show you the correct number. So if you're looking at it last week and it said one number, and you look at this week and it's less, that's probably why. The next thing that says here is notification when you're eligible. You can now choose to be proactively notified by email when you reach the YPP eligibility threshold, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours. This way, you don't need to keep checking back on the page if you don't want to. And I'm sure you will. A lot of people do. They keep checking. They want to see how they're going. The next part is a streamlined YPP application process. Once you've reached the threshold, you'll automatically be directed to the YPP application where you'll be asked to agree to the YPP terms and set up AdSense. After submitting your application, you should hear back in around 30 days. Once approved, you'll be prompted to set up your ad format preferences for monetization. Now I'm just going to scroll down here. You can see here, this is an example of the actual page that I was talking about. Now if you're not yet in YPP, you will get this screen. It says Grow with YouTube. As a YouTube partner, you'll be eligible to earn money from your videos, get creator support and more. Learn more. There's a little link there that'll take you to learn more. You can look at that at your leisure. To get into the YouTube Partner Program, your channel needs 4,000 public watch hours in the last 12 months and 1,000 subscribers. Your channel will also get reviewed to make sure it follows our monetization policies. My number one recommendation for you, if you're heading towards that and you're not yet monetizing, your goal is to get your 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 public watch hours, make sure that you also comply to the monetization or YouTube Partner Program policies, because if your videos and your channel does not conform to that, you will not be approved, you will be rejected, and that's a fact. I've talked about this in previous videos. If you want to check those out, they're right up here. And you can see here, it gives you a very slim diagram, gives you a little dashboard, a speedo type thing that tells you how many subscribers you got and how many public watch hours you got, and you get a little visual indicator as to how far you got to go on each. So that's pretty good. And then a little button that says notify me when I'm eligible. That's where you click if you want them to send you an email to say, hey, you're ready to apply, go apply. Okay, some FAQs about this. So say you've had it all set up and you were just waiting to accrue all the watch time and the subscribers. It says, question, what if I previously applied but haven't hit this threshold? Nothing is changing. Your YouTube application has been saved. You will see the Grow to YouTube page until you hit the threshold. Then once you reach 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 public watch hours, you can continue with your application as normal. If you finish the application, we'll automatically send it for review once you've reached the threshold. So that's great. So if you've already filled everything in those 4-step process on the old screen, then it has saved all that information. It's automatically going to submit you as before for review. So you don't have to worry about that if you've already done that. What if I've never applied? What if you haven't filled out the thing and set up an AdSense account and all that? It says you can check your eligibility on a monetization sign-up page or ask to be notified by email when you reach the threshold. Once you hit the threshold, so if you haven't done it yet, now if you reach the threshold, then you can go and set up those things. AdSense, agree to the terms and conditions. I think this is better too, because I think the terms and conditions are an important thing to know, which you can access now in advance, and you can also agree to it at the time that you submit your application. I think that's great. So you've got ample information at your fingertips on what is eligible to be monetized. Question, how can I check my YPP eligibility? You can check your eligibility for YPP on the monetization sign-up page in Studio to see how close you are to reaching 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours. You can also choose to be notified by email when you've hit the threshold. How long will it take for my YPP application to be reviewed? Once you've reached the threshold, you'll be able to continue with the YPP application, and you should hear back within around 30 days. You can learn more about the review process here. We're about to check that out in just a second over on the link that is highlighted here on the page. It says, we hope these changes will ease some of the confusion around the YouTube Partner Program application and review, but let us know your questions and feedback in the comments below. Back to that the screen again, just one more time before we go and look at some of the information about the review process, because that is important as well. You can see here, make sure that if you're in this space, I said this before, but I'm going to say it again because I want to hit on this again. Make sure you click on that link that says Monetization Policies. Know what you can and cannot do as a YouTube partner. know what you can and cannot do to be eligible for monetization. If you reuse content, if you spam, if you do all sorts of things, if you use your AdSense account inappropriately, if you overly click on ads, different things like that. There's a whole lot more. It's a whole that's a whole video, and I've talked about it, as I mentioned before, in some previous videos. Make sure that you're aware of all these things so that you're not inadvertently in breach and have to go back and fix things. After getting a review and getting rejected, you have a 30-day window to fix things and reapply. That means you've got to wait another month before you can even reapply. So make sure you get it right the first time is my suggestion. Now, let's get over and check the review process. And this has been updated in regards to fitting in with that new information. So here we go. It's an FAQ on why my application for monetization is still under review. So this is for you people who you go, okay, it's okay, give it 30 days, but it's been longer than 30 days. Why has it been longer than 30 days? This is going to help you. This is the update as of the 7th of November here. We have updated watch hours to only show public watch hours in studio, which we mentioned. Check your progress on the monetization page in studio, or you can choose to be notified by email when you reach the threshold. Once you hit the eligibility requirements, you can proceed with your application as normal. If you pre-applied, your application has been saved and you can pick up where you left off once you hit the threshold. This is an important thing, which I'm going to hit on as well, because I see people don't read. They go to these articles and then they post a lot of comments in the below saying, please look at my review process. Please look at it. It's been longer than 30 days. Please look at it. Please look at it. Don't do that. YouTube said that will not make it go any faster. It's like watching a water boil. It's going to boil when it's boiled. It boils in a set period of time. It says here, please note, here in the YouTube help community, which is where this YouTube help post is posted, we do not review applications, and posting here will not help your channel get reviewed any faster. It's in bold. Do not do that. And YouTube have even said in a previous video that was on the YouTube Creator channel, I believe, or also it was Creator Insider, they said, tweeting at us and messaging us does not make your review process go faster, so you're wasting your breath. Don't do it. You'll hear back when you hit it. Let's have a look at what we've got here. If you have applied to the YouTube Partner Program and your application is under review, read below for more details. We also recommend you going through this YPP application checklist. We're going to probably check that out. I'm going to open that up in a separate link, and we're going to look at that after this, because I don't know if I've seen this checklist. Check to make sure you meet the minimum eligibility requirements to join YPP. Follow all the YouTube Partner Program policies, which is what I was just talking about before. You must live in a country or region where the YouTube Partner Program is available. You can also check that by clicking the link there. Have more than 4,000 underlined and bolded public watch hours in the last 12 months. Last 12 months means from the day that you're looking at it today, go back 12 months. You look at it next week, go back 12 months from next week. If you look at it next month, go back 12 months from next month. It's rolling. It's a shifting 12 months. That 12 months is always 12 months, and it just moves along with you until you hit the target. Have more than 1,000 subscribers and have linked and approved AdSense account. The majority of applications receive an update in less than 30 days. All applications are put in a queue and will be processed in the order that they are received. So tweeting at YouTube, messaging YouTube, putting comments in the YouTube help, putting comments in the YouTube community does not get your channel reviewed any faster. You are in the queue like everybody else. Please be patient, as our teams cannot speed up your application. There you go. If it's been longer than 30 days and you still haven't heard back, number 1, confirm that you have enough public views for us to review. This is what we're talking about right at the top of the video and have reiterated a number of times since we started. Reminder that you need at least 4,000 public watch hours in the last 12 months. If you have deleted a substantial number of videos or have a lot of watch time from private videos, then you won't be reviewed at this time because you're short. So you basically aren't really in the queue until you actually hit it for real with public watch hours. Consider switching your private videos to public to make them public watch hours. You can check your progress on the monetization sign-up page in the studio or choose to be notified by email when you reach the threshold. If you confirm meeting all eligibility requirements, including 4,000 public watch hours, they're really stressing this now, then your channel is likely to be held for further reviews. If you have borderline content, then your channel requires multiple reviews, especially if multiple reviewers disagree on your channel's suitability for the YPP. In these cases, it takes more time for a decision to be made. In the meantime, we'd actually recommend that you review the YPP policies. See, it's linked in blue. Review them again and use this time to make updates to your content to be more in line with our policies. We really appreciate your patience, and again, there is no way to expedite this review process. I think they want you to know that there's no way to expedite your review process. I hope you understand. Note, this impacts a very small number of channels. Small, but sometimes vocal. Okay, lastly, our policy specialists try to get through applications as quickly as possible, but we have a limited number of specialists, and sometimes process delays happen. For example, if we get a higher than usual application volume, experience system issues, or just need to shift resources, these things are rare, and we will let you know if and when they happen by updating this thread and our help center. Do you have more questions about YPP? Check the following articles, and there's 3 more articles that they're suggesting that you look at. And I recommend that if you're in this process of getting approved, that you avail yourself of all the documentation that you can on the YouTube Partner Program. Here we go. They've got the YouTube Partner Program overview, application, checklist, and FAQs, which is the one we're about to look at. YouTube Partner Program new participant FAQs. If your YouTube Partner Program application was denied, FAQs. All right, let's have a look at the first one we got here. YouTube Partner Program overview and eligibility, which is something that we actually touched on in the previous article. But basically, there's a video you can watch. It can give you some information, what you get. Once you become a YouTube Partner Program member, you get access to creator support teams. That's a whole nother video. Access to the copyright match tool. That's a whole nother video. Access to monetization features, which of course is ads on your videos, super chats, super stickers, and then as you grow to a larger channel size, we're talking channel memberships and things like that. The minimum eligibility requirements to join. First of all, you need to follow the YouTube monetization policies, which again, I've suggested that you go and avail yourself of and become very familiar with. So you need to be following all the policies. You need to be adhering to the policies before you apply. Your channel needs to be in order. You need to live in a country and region where the YouTube Partner Program is available. We went over this just before. We're going to skip through it quick. Have more than 4,000 valid public watch hours in the last 12 months. Now they've added the word valid public watch hours there. So now they're valid public watch hours, which suggests that there's invalid public watch hours, but that's probably a can of worms we don't want to get into. All right, have more than 1,000 subscribers, have a linked AdSense account. Okay, this is the checklist that they're giving you. Number 1, make sure your channel follows our policies and guidelines. Just what I was saying before, go avail yourself of what those policies and guidelines are. Have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 valid public watch hours. I've repeated that part ad nauseum. You know what I'm talking about. You need to sign the YouTube Partner Program terms and conditions as you're agreeing to the terms of being a partner. You'll get presented that once you reach the threshold if you haven't signed that already. Make sure you only have one AdSense account. And the thing with AdSense accounts is a person is only allowed one AdSense account total. But you can get one AdSense account and link multiple channels to that AdSense account. So all revenue from those channels will funnel through that AdSense account to you. Number 5, the checklist is get reviewed. Of course, that's in YouTube's hands. And then there's 2 parts to this. If you're accepted, congratulations. And then there's some FAQs there on how to monetize your videos. Once you get to that point, make sure you go and check that FAQ on monetization. Now, if you're rejected, what happens if you're rejected? Our reviewers found that a significant portion of your channel does not meet our policies and guidelines. You can reapply in 30 days after your rejection. Check out our FAQs for tips on how to strengthen your application. This is an important one. I'm going to open this one up in the background. You must make sure that if you get rejected, you must make sure that you go back and find out why you're rejected. They will tell you for what reason, and then go back and look at your content carefully and say, well, okay, what is it about my content that has been making me rejected in line with the reason that they've given you? And then you can start making changes. 30 days is an appropriate amount of time for you to actually go in and possibly remove videos or whatever it is that you need to do to get your channel in order. It might mean making a whole bunch of new content, because if a very large amount of your content does not meet the program requirements, you might have to delete them, which means that your watch time is probably going to drop, which means you're going to have to recoup that by making more videos and accruing that watch time again. So you may not be able to apply after 30 days if that is one of the things where you have to remove a swath of videos. So I know it sucks, but that's why I strongly recommend that you go and avail yourself of the partner program policies, so that you know that you've done everything you can do to get your house in order before you apply. What else is on this page? The review process, it basically is a summary of what we talked about on the previous page. Even mentions, can you speed up my application? No. Can they speed up your application? No, they cannot. There's some FAQs. What if I don't meet the program threshold? We talked about that. What does valid public watch hours mean? It says here, watch hours gained from videos you've set public. Watch hours gained through the following types of videos do not count towards the YPP threshold: private videos, unlisted videos, deleted videos, and true view campaigns. That means if you've basically paid for your video to appear as an ad, though watch time on those particular views don't count. So you can't pay your way to the YPP. If I meet the threshold, do I automatically get into the YPP? No, we've talked about that. You need to go through the review and meet the policies. What happens if my count drops below the threshold after I apply? I covered this in one of the early videos when this process was put in place last year. We'll send your channel for review once you meet valid public watch hours threshold. So it doesn't matter if the subscriber or watch hour counts drop below the threshold while you're waiting for review. You've met the threshold and applied for the YPP. We'll still review your channel for YPP suitability. But YouTube does reserve the right at its discretion to remove monetization from channels that become inactive or have not uploaded or posted community posts for 6 months or more. So don't let your channel go stagnant and you'll be fine. Channels will lose monetization if they violate YouTube monetization policies regardless of their watch hours or subscriber count. That means if you go and breach a rule that is related to the YPP. And what if I've already applied in Creator Studio Classic? We covered this at the beginning of the video. If you started in Studio Classic, your experience may be slightly different if you previously signed the YouTube Partner Program terms. We've saved that agreement, so you've already signed it. We've got that on file. Sign the YouTube Partner Program terms and connect your AdSense account. If you've done that, then everything's good. Now, we said we had another one. So what about rejection? I'm going to look at this really quick because I didn't intend all of this to be in this video, so we're going to cover it really quick. My channel was rejected for monetization, FAQs. This is going to be a whole other video, so come back. We're going to cover out what this is. I did talk about this earlier this year in this video, but what we're going to do now is actually going to say, catch you later, and we'll see you in the next video.
Subscribe to Hewson YT for more tech for content creation.